So the first step is to practice drawing a chameleon. Now to draw our chameleon, we're going to need 2 oval shapes. We're going to need one about here. So I'm just going to create an oval shape there. And we're going to need another oval shape here. One for the head and one for the body. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to draw the shape. So from my oval here, I'm going to draw up slightly and I'm going to bring it down into his nose just there. I'm going to turn my paper slightly and I'm going to give him a slight dip and bring it round to there. So I've gone up slightly, brought it down, a little dip, and then to there. Now the body is going to swoop round like this. Swoop round. And make sure that you don't make the chameleon too small. He needs to be nice and big. Yes? So that's the top part of the body. And this is the bottom part of the body. Then what's going to happen is we're going to draw in his tail, which is going to come down from there all the way around, and I want a big spiral, and it wants to be quite broad, so I'm going to bring it from here down and round into that lovely spiral. So there is my chameleon tail. So we're doing really, really well. The next thing is to look at where the legs are going to come. So 2 legs will appear from the other side of the body, so from behind the body, and the other 2 legs will appear from the middle of the body here. So this one is where I'm going to begin with my first leg, and I'm going to put it in about here, and that's going to appear from behind the body. And then the next leg is going to come from about here, and it's going to come down to about there, and that's in front of the body. I've then got another leg that's going to come from about here, and that's also going to be in front of the body. And then last of all, I've got a leg that's going to come behind the body, and that's going to come out from about here. So that's my one from behind the body. So I've got behind, in front, turn it around that way, in front, and then behind again. And they're all going to come down onto a log. And the way that that works is like this. We bring it round, and then it's going to go like this. That's going to go up over and round. Now the log is going to come out there. There's the end of my log. Then the log's going to come along, and this one is going to come round. It's going to come across. Now this is important. That's his thumb gripping the other side. It comes like this, and then the rest of his hand's going to come down like that. So nice chunky legs holding on tight to this log so that our chameleon doesn't slip. This one's going to, I'm just going to bring this down slightly further, and he's going to hold on there and bring that round like this. So the log is going to come through there and through here, and the log's just going to come, turn my sheet slightly along. So notice how I do turn my sheets to help me see what I'm doing. It's going to come all the way along to here. It's going to have a slight bend in it, and then a little bit of a fork there. I think that branches, it's really more of a branch than a log, isn't it? I don't know why I called it a log. Branch. But the branch will come along to there. Now this hand is just easy peasy. It's just going to come up there and round. That's going to have a bit of a bend in it. Like that. So now chameleon heads need to come a bit more like this. They need to come out and then down. That's the shape of the head. So we're going to add a little bit there to the head, and they also have a bit here that's going to come down, and where their nose comes, just going to come like that. And then we need to put in his eye, a really nice big eye that's going to go about here. There's his eye, and also his mouth. Now he's looking chameleon-like. And then along the top here, we're going to give him his rill. And that's going to come all the way down. All the way down to the end of his tail. Sort of down to about there. Right. And the last thing we want to do is we are going to put 2 lines on his body. And this is not to paint to. These are just the lines that we would perhaps expect to see on our chameleon's body. And I think we'll have one there, and then a few down his tail. And there is our somewhat chubby looking chameleon, but I'm really happy with him or her. It's looking really good. So I'm going to use my Sharpie, and I'm just going to check that I'm happy by going over the lines that I need to keep. There we go, there is my chameleon. Now, I haven't just drawn over it with Sharpie so that you can see it, and it's terribly important that you can see it, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make things easier for myself, because I'm going to trace over my design now that I've got it how I want it to be, and I'm going to use tracing paper, and then I'm going to transfer my design onto my piece of paper that I'm going to paint on. And I'm just going to follow those Sharpie lines. And for this, I'm going to use a sketching pencil. So it's a little bit darker because I want it to pick up the graphite, so that when I turn the tracing paper over, it will transfer onto my design. Now, to make this even easier so that nothing slips, I'm going to tape these 2 bits of paper using some masking tape to my table, just very lightly. And then I don't even have to hold the pieces of paper together. My next step is to transfer this onto the paper that I'm going to be drawing on. Move my masking tape to one side. And there's my original. Let's pop that over there. This is the paper. Now it does mean that he or she will be facing the other way, but that's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it flat, and I'm going to use my HB pencil, and I'm going to very lightly just shade over the top. Let's just check. And there is my chameleon. I think you can probably just make that out. There's the tracing paper that I shaded in with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to draw it in pencil. I'm actually going to draw it in pen. And the reason for that is because then I'm going to add the paint. Right, so there is my chameleon looking very satisfied with himself.